everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. We've put together a lot of information for you that we hope you will find helpful for you to utilize in your job search. Today's market is definitely a tough and a weird one when it comes to finding a new position. So it's important to do different things to stand out against your competition, basically everyone else who's applying to the same position that you are. So let's get into this. So today we're going to discuss how to make your profile stand out on LinkedIn, what steps to do to get noticed by a recruiter or a hiring manager, some basic resume tips and tricks, and then also some basic do's and don'ts on what to do on LinkedIn as a whole. I'm Whitney. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition here at Bridge. We are also joined by Megan, who is our Senior Talent Acquisition Manager, and Haley, who is our Creative Marketing Manager. So first and foremost, who's Bridge? What do? We are a staffing and recruiting firm. We have been in business for over 30 years. We have clients all throughout the United States. We specialize in direct hire and temp to hire placements in the corporate related type of sector. We've had clients for over spanning 25 years. So we'd like to think we're doing something right. So we're excited to share with you everything that we put together for you. All right, topic 1, building your LinkedIn profile. All right, first we're going to start off with the headline. So the headline is the section that shows up underneath your name when someone clicks on your profile or when you show up in a search. So basically the headline provides a quick reference about you. Think of it as your elevator pitch. You can put something personal in there to make you more approachable. You can list the role or career you're looking to land. You can put in some words that describe you, or you can list what your current position is and some of your specific achievements. There really isn't a right or a wrong way to do your headline. So you can just get creative in what you want to put in there that you think is going to grab someone's attention to click on your profile and potentially reach out to you about a specific position. So examples of headlines is determined, passionate, and eager individual ready to make a career change. Recent finance graduate with a focus on financial analysis, reporting, and auditing. Sales professional, $1.7 million generated in 2021. Your next top performing loan processor with 8 years of experience. Keep in mind, you only have 120 characteristics, so you want to be creative and you want to be, straight to the point. How do you edit your headline? You want to go into your profile, and on the top right-hand side of your profile, there's going to be a pencil image. You want to click on that image and scroll down to the headline. So what you can see here is that in my headline, I have connecting people and organizations / staffing strategist and expert. Next, we're going to discuss the body of your profile. So in the body of the profile is an about section. So this is a summary about you. So make sure you include the position or career you are targeting, characteristics about yourself, wins and accomplishments from your previous roles, summary of responsibilities from previous roles, and why an organization would want to have you on their team. So as you can see in my about section, I list how many years of experience I have within the recruiting industry and what positions I have experienced recruiting on, my beliefs when it comes to staffing, and also just some characteristics about myself as far as what I can do for an organization if they were to hire me. Next is the job description section. So this is where you want to add in the responsibilities of your current role and your previous role. So list the positions you have held spanning the last 10 years. Include details and accomplishments that you achieved in each role, and list the responsibilities in bullet form. So basically, if you already have a resume in a Word document, you can copy and paste it and put it in this job description section. But it's important to be detailed and provide a lot of information for individuals who are looking at your profiles for them to get a better idea of what you have done and what you're able to do. Next is we're going to talk about joining groups. A lot of people overlook this section on LinkedIn, but really, this is really important for you. Um, Not only does it expand your second and third degree connections, which Megan will get into later about why that is so important, it's also going to link you with similar people who could provide you some career guidance. You'll also be able to see positions posted to those specific groups by hiring managers and HR, and it's going to open up your network to more decision makers. So, where do you find groups? Go into the search bar of your LinkedIn page and type in the type of group that you're looking to target. So, if you're a customer service professional, you can join some customer service groups. If you are um, a quality engineer, join some of those groups. If you want to join some groups that are industry specific, do that. If you're a recent grad, maybe join the alumni groups of your school, or there's also groups that are specific to the areas you live in for recent grads or certain professionals. Certain individuals with a specific profession related to that geographical area. So you can get pretty creative in the type of groups that you join, but I would join at least 5 to 10 to start off with and just continue growing as you go on. Next is one little section about LinkedIn etiquette, and that is the InMail section. One thing that is very important to note about InMails is that InMails cost money. And so if a recruiter or hiring manager is sending you an InMail, they like what they see on your profile and they're spending money to reach out to you. So it's important that you respond back to them, even if you're not interested in the position that they're reaching out to you about. Let them know what position you're looking for. This is going to build rapport with individuals in your network. It's also going to build relationships with professionals who have connections with other individuals that they may know is hiring for that position you're looking for. Or maybe they actually are looking for someone for that specific position, but they didn't reach out to you about it at that time. Or maybe the position opens up in a couple months and they remember, hey, this person responded to my email. We had a really good conversation with each other. I'm going to reach out to them and see if they're interested. Also, another thing why it's important to respond to emails is that it changes the order in which your profile will show up in search results. So, just like any other social media platform, LinkedIn is built on algorithms. So, the more you interact with individuals, the more likely your profile is going to show up quicker in searches. And then also, recruiters can filter down their searches based on the actions um, of the individuals that they're targeting. So, as you can see here on the right hand side, if I do a search for a customer service representative, that's going to show me millions of results. So I want to narrow that down. I can narrow it down to someone who's open to work. I can narrow it down to someone who's more likely to respond, hence you responding to the emails. I can reach out to someone who's engaged with our talent brand, or we have company connections, or have applied to my previous positions. So I'm more likely to filter down my search to someone who, to the bucket of are more likely to respond, because that means these people are more likely to respond to me in the email, which is going to result in some quicker results for my clients. If someone's going to respond to me quicker, I can talk to them faster and get them over to my client quicker. All right, topic 2. This is where Megan's going to take over.
Thank you so much, Whitney, for going over everything. And we are really excited to talk about what recruiters look for on your LinkedIn profile. So, a little background about me. So, I have been recruiting with Bridge for the past 6.5 years. I have recruited on anything from entry level customer service up to C-suite positions. So, worked with a wide variety of different types of candidates, different types of industries. So, today we're going to talk about what I look for on your LinkedIn profile and what you can do to make yourself stand out against other employees and other types of candidates looking for jobs as well. So, to start off, what do recruiters look for? So, there's so much that can go onto a LinkedIn profile. So, first thing is, how do you present yourself? LinkedIn is a social platform, so it's really important that you present yourself the way that you want to be seen by future employers. So, One of the biggest things you can do is make sure you add your picture to your LinkedIn profile. There are so many different types there's bots or spam profiles. So having a profile picture is one of the easiest ways to make sure that we know you're human. We know that you are on this profile actively. So having a profile picture is one of the easiest things you can do to make sure that individuals will find your profile. And while something that Haley will go into later, while professional headshot is not a must-have, it does help you stand out. So really keep in mind the type of picture that you're going to put on your profile. This could be your future boss looking at your profile. So really make sure that you're putting yourself in your best light. Next subject would be your headline and your job title. So what Whitney was speaking about earlier, really keep in mind what you're trying to attract. So something that Whitney has on her profile as an example would be that she is a staffing partner. So she's trying to attract individuals to come view her profile and really sell what she does. So this really plays into our search algorithms. So really keep in mind, just your headline as a whole. If you're wanting to move into a different type of career, maybe that's something you put in your headline so you don't have recruiters reaching out to you for the same job that you're already in. Or maybe you're looking for, maybe just a different field in general. Maybe you're looking to change industries, but stay in the same line of work. Those are some of the examples that you can put into your headline and your job title. Next thing would be, does your LinkedIn tell a story? Your LinkedIn can really read like a resume, so it's important to make sure that you're telling the story that you want to portray to other people. So an intro is great on your LinkedIn page, but it needs to be the right story. This is a great way to tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us more about your job history and what you're looking for in your next position. So really think about what you want recruiters to know. Could be, like I said, listing anything from the jobs you're trying to target or telling us about yourself. Next thing would be, does your LinkedIn state what type of job you want? So there's a few different ways that you can put on your LinkedIn profile what type of jobs you want, whether it's open to new opportunities, whether it's your headline, whether it's your job title, or whether it's just a post itself on LinkedIn. So recruiters were looking for transferable skills, and we reach out to a wide range of candidates. So really keep in mind what type of roles you're interested in and state that on your LinkedIn. So then you're not getting recruiters reaching out to you that are talking about jobs that you're not even interested in. All right, next thing that recruiters look for. So details. We want to see details on everything. Like I say, the more the merrier in terms of details. So really think about how you can transfer your information from your resume and move it onto your LinkedIn profile. So a lot of individuals on LinkedIn maybe will just put their job titles and what employers they worked at. Now, that's great and all, but we want to know, what did that job look like? Did you have metrics? How many individuals did you manage? What type of software you've worked with? Just any type of details you feel that would be helpful. That's something that can really set yourself apart, because as we are searching for keywords, which we'll get into later, if you put keywords on your LinkedIn profile, it will help you show up in more searches. So it really just helps you out in the long run. Open to new opportunities. So this is a newer-ish function on LinkedIn where you can show recruiters that you are open to a new job. So one thing to really point out that not a lot of individuals know is that this is completely private. This is something that only individuals with a recruiter license on LinkedIn can see. And also your current employer cannot view any of their current employees that are open to new opportunities. So they do have that privacy setting in place, so it's not anything to worry about. But this is a great way for us to just filter for individuals that are looking for jobs actively. We know that you're going to be taking the job search seriously. We know that you're actively on the market. So this is a great way for us to find active candidates versus maybe more of that passive candidate that, maybe they're open to hearing something, but they're not unhappy where they're at. So on your main profile, you'll be able to just hit a switch, turn it on or off, and you can turn this on whenever you want. You can turn it off whenever you want. It stays up for, I believe, 3 months. So, just utilize this function the best you can. Connections. So connections are also something that are very important. As Whitney was mentioning earlier, we have something on LinkedIn where you can have a first connection, a second connection, and a third connection. So there's different types of degrees of individuals that you can connect with, and it's all based on how many individuals you're connected with in general. So If you're connected with one person and then they're connected with 100 other people, those would be your second degree connections. So again, connecting with individuals will help you show up more because if they're liking your post, it will show up in their connections feeds. So again, connecting with individuals are really important on LinkedIn, but it's also important to connect with the right type of individuals. So whether that's recruiters of maybe companies that you're wanting to target, could be past colleagues or current colleagues. It could be educators, or maybe someone that you really align your values with, or maybe it's someone that you really admire their content and their profile and you want to follow them. There's no right or wrong thing to do on your LinkedIn profile, but it's important to be active on the platform itself. And then the next thing, so location. On your LinkedIn profile, you'll see, on the main profile, it will say that this person lives in the greater Chicago area, or maybe they have a more specific city. This is one thing that is so often overlooked, but making sure that you're updating your zip code on where you're targeting to work. So as an example, maybe you live in Chicago, but you're looking to relocate to Florida. Unless you update your zip code to that location, there's no way for us to know what area you're targeting. So it's really important to make sure that your zip code is updated on where you're targeting to work. It's super easy to do just on your main profile. You edit it. And then this will also help you target, again, if you're looking for a hybrid position, you're looking for an on-site role, this will help us make sure that we're sending you positions that are within the correct location radius. Now, this may not apply to remote employees, but it's still nice to know that where you're located can relate into the role itself for training purposes or onboarding. And it's just some information that recruiters want to know in general. All right. So next thing that recruiters look for, as you can see, we look for a lot of things on profiles, and there's a lot of things that go into just a basic search. So keywords and skills. So this is something on your profile, again, that is often overlooked because you see the skill section on your LinkedIn profile and it almost looks like, did these people mean to add these onto there? So it's a great way to show what have you learned in your job history and show recruiters what you're skilled in. So if a recruiter is searching, maybe I'm looking for someone with Microsoft Excel experience. If you have this under a skill in your profile, it will help show up in my search as well. So your skill section can be anything from general skills, like your overviewing of how I'm skilled in maybe in recruiting and hiring, very vague skills, or it could be more specific to maybe a certain type of software, or maybe you've worked with a certain type of certification. Could mean so many different things, but you're able to add up to 50 skills on your profile. So the more that you add, the more keywords that will show up in your profile. Same thing with recommendations and endorsements. So this is the section that is next to your skills section on your LinkedIn profile. So think of it almost like a letter of recommendation when you're trying to apply for colleges, or maybe you're trying to apply for a new job, has the same type of effect. So it's something that's really cool where if maybe you're on your LinkedIn profile and maybe you want your manager to write you a recommendation and talk about your performance. All you do is you're able to go onto your LinkedIn profile, you're able to hit ask for recommendation, and it just sends that person a LinkedIn message. And they can either say, sure, I'd love to do it, or they can decline it. But again, those are great ways for you to have some more information on your profile. It gives us recruiters a lot of information about your work history, how do you work well with others? What type of management style do you like? It just gives us details that maybe we wouldn't be able to know unless we did a reference check on you. The next part of your LinkedIn profile is a great thing is if you're currently looking for a job, you're able to upload your resume onto your profile. So although you don't have to, you're able to make it private as well, but you're able to link your LinkedIn profile onto your resume, right onto your profile. One thing, really make sure that your resume aligns with your LinkedIn profile, make sure the dates match up, the details, we want to see consistency on both of those, both your LinkedIn profile and your resume. So you're able to just hit a quick attach, and then that's a great way for you to be able to just have your resume for current employers that are looking. Now, one thing to really mention is make sure that you want the information that you feel comfortable with. So I always recommend, take off your personal address, put the contact information that you're comfortable with, whether that's your phone number, whether that's your email. You know, LinkedIn's such a big platform with millions of users. So really just keep that in mind and make sure that, you have the contact information that you're comfortable with sending out. All right, so to circle back to some of the past things that we talked about, here are some quick screenshots of both my About Me section and then also my recommendation section, so you can kind of get a better view. So my About Me, these are things that I want both future candidates to know, and anyone that looks at my LinkedIn profile. So my About Me includes what type of positions I work on. So if a candidate is looking for a job, they know, hey, she works on these types of positions. Does it align with what I'm looking for? This can be the same thing for current job seekers. Talk about the types of positions you're looking for. And your About Me section also includes my contact information, and then also talks a little bit about me. How did I get started in recruiting? Why do I like recruiting? And just gives a better overview of just a little bit about me before you're even going to potentially interview or talk to me. Next section would be that recommendation section, which we were talking about how that can almost be that letter of recommendation. So these are candidates that I have worked with. It's very important for me that my candidate experience is top notch. I want them to feel like I'm a partner for them. So this is a great example of, hey, candidates, this is why you want to work with me. Hiring managers, this is why you want to work with me as well. So take that same information and apply it into your recommendations if you're a job seeker as well. All right. And then on the main page here is how to upload your resume. So, right when you go to view your own profile, all you have to do is you have to hit the More button, and then you're able to hit Build a Resume. And then this will give you two options. So, if you do not have a resume, maybe you're not able to access Word or Adobe, you're able to build a resume just based off your LinkedIn profile, or you're able to upload a resume directly from your share files. So, this is really your preference, whatever you feel comfortable with, but always a great thing to do if you are active on the job market. I highly suggest doing either of these because this is a great way for us to be able to take your resume. We have your information if maybe are able to send it to a hiring manager, maybe once you're interested, or even, maybe we're able to send it to someone else on the market that we know that they're hiring for the type of position that you're targeting. So just uploading your resume is something that can definitely help you out in the long run. All right. So to circle back, we've talked about everything that I look for in a profile. So now you're able to see what I see when I'm searching for candidates. So this is what the platform looks like on LinkedIn in a recruiter search. So we have a lot of filters that we can go to. We can search by anything from job titles to maybe just even zip code. I'm able to search by what type of degree you have, what type of school you went to, any type of skills. The possibilities are endless within the LinkedIn platform, which is great. So to circle back, this is why it's so important you have those details on your LinkedIn profile. So, again, we have so many different filters. So, one of the things that I would definitely start with is searching by job title, searching by a location if I'm looking for a hybrid or on site position. And then also maybe just some keywords. Maybe my client is looking for someone that has really strong software skills. Maybe they want SharePoint as a skill. That's something that I'm going to include in my keyword search because I want candidates that are skilled within that platform. So very important to make sure that you include as much information as you can, because again, this will circle back to every single filter that we are sorting through on our side as well. All right. So, some key takeaways. So, again, a perfect storm of all of the above information is used to analyze a candidate. Again, you don't need to have everything and anything on your profile, but the more that you have, the more likely you will have the chance to show up in a recruiter search. So, depending on the role itself and what the client is seeking regarding your work history and what they're really wanting into a candidate, this is an easy way for us to find quick ways if you align with that said position. So your keyword search, does what I am searching align with what you have on your profile? So like I said earlier, if I'm looking for someone with a different type of software experience, or maybe I'm looking for someone that has worked in a call center, I want to see that on your profile. I want to know that information. So make sure you include that versus, maybe you just have customer service on your resume. That doesn't tell me if you're a representative. It doesn't tell me if you're a supervisor, doesn't tell me anything. So again, the more details you have, the better it can be. And then also timing is everything. So really make sure that if you get reached out to a recruiter, reply to them. Even if you tell us that you're not looking, you're not interested, that is better than nothing, because then first off, we won't keep reaching out to you about that same position, but also maybe we can get some more insight into what type of position you are looking for, or maybe we're able to also find out, if you know anyone that's looking for that position as well. So timing is everything, and just please reply even if you're not interested. All right, so now we went over some of the key things that you can add onto your profile, and Haley is now to go into the marketing side. So how you can present yourself in the best light and continue to get attention from those candidates and those hiring managers.
Topic 3. Thank you, Megan, for that introduction. So this will be about marketing basics for your online presence. So when we're talking about your LinkedIn content for your profile, something that Megan mentioned earlier that is of very much of importance is your headshot. So although professional headshots aren't necessary, you don't ever have to go out and hire a professional photographer. A professional headshot of you should be highly considered. So this could be, how you're presenting yourself in that photo. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. LinkedIn is a professional networking site, and presenting yourself like the professional that you are would help you land that job potentially. So looking the part can help you with doing that. So depending on what field you're in, that can definitely stem in a variety of different ways to dress. Just something to very much highly consider. Also, keep in mind that party pictures, social pictures, those aren't necessarily the headshot that you may be wanting to use on LinkedIn. You want to look your best for that potential employer or that recruiter that is looking for you online. Something to include also on your profile is any kind of passion project, freelance work, or maybe you have a project that you're really proud of that you can show online from your previous employer, an online portfolio. Make sure that you include those within your outline of your job history. You can add them as an attachment, which would be great to do. Even consider a project or pitch that you're incredibly proud of that shows a large capacity of the work that you can do. This would be great for a recruiter or potential employer to see, to get a glimpse inside of the work that you can produce. Something else to consider in terms of the content is, do include your website link. If you have a website link, make sure you add it, whether that's in your about section or within that section of job history. That'd be good to do. Having a website shows you've gone the extra mile in producing your work and even outside of your regular 9-to-5 job. And it can also give more insight to who you are as a candidate on a personal level. Some other options to consider when it comes to content is a custom profile link. So if you want to clean up your LinkedIn profile, make your profile attached to a custom link rather than the collection of letters and numbers that are at the end of a URL. So to do that, you can easily go to your profile, contact, edit contact information, tap profile URL, and then tap the edit. And then from there, you can make it custom. So for example, if we were using Megan, you could use a combination of your first and last name and use Megan Johnson Recruiter. Something else to consider when it comes to content and having a LinkedIn profile is your LinkedIn activity. So how active are you on LinkedIn? Someone posting and liking content within your own newsfeed. This can help boost your algorithm and your SEO as from a user perspective. So be engaging while you're on your LinkedIn. So if you see something in the newsfeed, if that's someone getting a new job, maybe a company is sharing articles that you find interested in, make sure you're liking those and engaging with them. Another way to add a personal touch to your LinkedIn profile is by adding a LinkedIn banner. So the banner sits at the top of the profile, right behind your profile picture. So adding this banner is another way to customize your profile and target yourself while branding the field that you're in. So maybe you live in Chicago, you can add a cityscape as the banner. You could have a job in finance and you could add a finance-based picture as your banner, and that speaks to who you are or maybe where you're located at. And as a good way to find stock imagery to use for these banners is utilizing a site called Pexels.com. So Pexels is a great non-copyrighted photography-based website. Everything is free to download and you can find just about anything on there. So if you were to go to Pexels and typed in Chicago, you'll get hundreds of images all based around the city. And then from there, you can download and add it to your profile. So the do's and do nots of activity. So while you're engaging and using LinkedIn as a social networking site, you do want to keep in mind it is a professional networking site. There are some do's and do nots of utilizing and engaging with others online. So a few that we recommend for you to do are do interact with posts from companies you're interested in. So whether that's sharing them, commenting on them, liking them, that is a definite do. Do comment and engage with others as well as those company posts. Do engage with employees from companies that pique your interest. So if you're adding and making those connections and you see something an employee has posted on the newsfeed, that is okay to comment and like as well as share. If you have career updates and post that you're looking for a job, that is a do. So if you can post that you're looking for a new job, so let's say you're a new graduate, definitely do that because more people will like, comment, and share, and employers can then see easily that you are a job seeker. Do share industry related news. So depending on the field that you're in, if you're following certain companies or even news related websites and you find something interesting about the industry that you're in, that is okay to share and give your comments and opinions on. Some do nots of activity on LinkedIn is do not post and ghost. So what this means is if you do go ahead and post a item on LinkedIn and people start interacting with it, be sure to comment back to those people. LinkedIn is at the end of the day a social networking site, which means people want to be social with each other. So make sure you're engaging and interacting with those other people. Do not post pictures in every post. So this means just use a variety of content when you're posting. So whether that's first person and writing the material or yourself, utilizing the polls option on LinkedIn, sharing articles, whether that's from a company you like or something you found online, just make sure you're not posting the same thing all the time. Do not comment critically or controversial on other people's posts. And in general, negative posts or complaining posts can be off-putting. So since LinkedIn is a professional networking site, you just want to keep in mind that keeping things as positive and lighthearted as possible, as well as not commenting anything controversial, is the way to go. If a recruiter and or potential employer saw a lot of negative activity on your LinkedIn profile, that could be a turn off. Do not send irrelevant messages. So it is great to message and engage with others online, but make sure that there is a topic of interest when you're sending messages. And then also do not be too salesy. This could also be don't be too spammy. So if you're selling a product or a service or even yourself, that's totally okay. But don't make every comment, conversation, or message about that specific item. Make sure you are doing that variety of content out there, as well as being diverse with that content you're putting out. Now is the time where we can take questions. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand on Teams and we can get to them. And thank you for joining us. We are on social media, so LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. So be sure to follow us weekly for tips and tricks.